All right. Thank you so much for those details. Our top focus right now is Nashik. 9 people have been arrested by Maharashtra police after a shocking case of molestation and sexual harassment came to light in Nashik. A female tourist was allegedly molested and her family members were attacked by a group of goons near the Bawali Dam in Nashik district. While visiting the waterfalls near the dam with the family for a picnic, which included her husband and children, her brother-in-law and nephews, 2 young men allegedly whistled at the woman and began harassing her. When the family intervened, the miscreants reportedly assaulted them, tore the woman's clothes and snatched her mobile phone. When her husband attempted to retrieve the phone, attackers also stole his gold chain and beat him up. However, the ordeal was not over. As a family, viewers attempted to leave the scene in their car. The perpetrators, along with other people from that area, chased them on a motorcycle, overtaking and blocking their path for about 20 kilometers. As per the complaint, approximately 8 to 9 men armed with sticks, iron rods and baseball bats came out of the vehicles. They smashed the SUV's windshield and forced the woman out of the vehicle. The men then molested her and one attacker swung a baseball bat at her head, but she managed to dodge. Now, even as 9 people have been detained in the case, their identities have not come to light. Such daylight harassment, with the initial incident taking place near a police post, and yet we don't know who these attackers are. The big question really is, have we now come to a point where we're shielding the accused's identities? Have we come to a point where one can't even go for a simple picnic in India? Is that the state of affairs? I take this conversation forward. I have with me on the broadcast Brinda Dige, social activist, Amber Zaidi, a social activist, advocate Swati Jindal Garg with us, and Mr. Sanjay Sahai with us as well. Let me begin with Brinda Dige. Brinda Dige, what is happening to society, and firstly, what do you make of this bizarre case?
Well, I don't think it's a bizarre case. It is a case of absolute impunity with no fear of law. And I think that again rests squarely at the state government, at the local authorities, the police. Where is the patrolling? If that is a tourist spot, then there has to be some form of patrolling. And this might not have been the first case. They have gotten away in earlier such instances. And they also think that they could get away with everybody like that. Today, people are not understanding, or they have not yet realized that whistling is no longer eve teasing, it is sexual harassment. And it falls very squarely within the BNS. It was earlier also there in the IPC. But police are not too keen on registering such cases. It's all the time, okay, let it be. No, boys will be boys. After all, it was a CT. After all, it was a double meaning song, or it was a comment that was passed. We do not even want to educate and create awareness to people that this is no longer acceptable. It is inappropriate and it is an offense punishable. So it's no longer a joke. No matter what your TV serials and your films might portray about these kind of instances, it is no more romantic, and we cannot fantasize sexual harassment in any which way. So I think it is time for the police to enforce the law that is already there.
Okay, but let me bring in then Mr. Sanjay Sahai on that note. Mr. Sahai, when we talk about really implementing the law that exists, when we talk about more patrolling, is that truly the solution? Because as Brinda Dige pointed out, that a lot of these instances are now taking place with complete impunity because it seems that there is no fear of the law. Is there a need for us to then change what is it that we think is the right punishment? For example, like I pointed out, we don't know the identities of these 9 people. We don't know who all were involved. Is that something that we should be looking at? When someone is accused of a crime, Mr. Sahai, should we then be focusing on exposing them to society? Could that finally act as a deterrent?
There is no silver bullet to this whole story, and this whole story has become bizarre over a period of last 1 or 2 decades. So we'll start with something very, very interesting that every posting at the local level is done by the politician. So as long as the politician is happy, the local officer will remain there. The second is very, very important is that the prime job of the police is prevention and detection of crime. So first prevention comes. If prevention does not happen, only then you come to the detection stage. Now we have to evaluate every single crime whether it was preventable or not. And this particular crime was preventable. There is absolutely no doubt about it. You come to police deployment. By police deployment, what do we understand in this country? We have been made to believe that you put a load full of khaki fellows and that is police deployment. Unfortunately, that is not the case, and that will never be the case, and that will not be a solution to any issue, law and order, crime, or otherwise. Now you have CCTVs all around the place, and I think the government has made lakhs and crores of investment. What stops those CCTVs to give you intelligence as it is happening when cars are being smashed, when all sorts of violence is taking place, and the analytics on your CCTV does not throw up anything, then God only can save you. Then we come to the functioning of the police station. These are not aberrations. This has slowly become the standard norm, and there is a very clear-cut pattern to this whole story. And there are loose lumpen elements who are all around the place. That is might be slightly away from the town. I can tell you about Bangalore. Literally on every road, there is some fellow or the other who puts a no parking, who puts a cone, who puts everything. I think today there are stones and cones and no parking which has been put on the sides of Bangalore Road, which the building owner feels it is his own. And it has led to skirmishes, it has led to fist fighting. One Karnataka Administrative Service officer was beaten up, I think, last year or so. So this has slowly become the standard pattern. Now these small places, there are loose elements operating. They try to prey upon what Brinda was saying. This is not the only incident. Incidents would be having in a regular fashion. Even foreign tourists have been attacked at such places. So the point is why the impunity comes. See, first and foremost, it is the fear of the police and the legal fear of the police, which generally seems to be vanishing at variety of places for reasons best known to, I think, all of you. So this is where we stand. If they want to set it right, I think all these places, there are small tourist places, they're not huge tourist places. So and then you talk about the lumpen element. These lumpen elements will be hanging around at the same location every single day. Now you put a CCTV. I did it in Karnataka Lokayukta. When we started looking in for middlemen, and when you started putting faces which they're on a regular basis, 90% of our issues coming to anti-corruption agencies, they have just stopped. Now these are the people whose faces are there right there. And you have all the details. You see, if these fellows are hanging around for 8 hours in a day, what is the SHO doing? So there are any number of issues. It is technology, it is attitude, it is protection by literally every single person in the hierarchy of the political apparatus. And lo and behold, while the transfer happened, you will find that SHO moving around in those police stations all around the place, and might be the constable is there for 10 years, 20 years, and you keep transferring senior officers every now and then. So this is broadly the story. If you want to control it, then the only way out is that you have to make the police station accountable. They have to be available all the time. Your CCTVs have to work. These people have to evaluated whether it is preventable or not preventable. We have seen any number of instances in this country where people have been dragged by vehicles for 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, people going all alone, and there's nobody to take care. So this is a pattern, a very clear-cut pattern. And the pattern of escalation is also known. So they will try and disturb the woman or 2-3 girls who are there, pass lewd remarks. They will force the male members of that group to react. And then this is the way the story goes. Now he has taken the mobile phone, he has snatched the gold chain or whatever, and this would be happening on a regular basis.
Right, absolutely. Amber Zaidi bringing you into the conversation. Amber, what is it that we can then expect from at least our lawmakers at this point in time? Mr. Sai also raised a pertinent point about how it seems as though anytime something happens, of course the police is responsible, but we continue to focus on the cops. What do the cops do and what do the cops not do? What about social responsibility? It's almost as if we've forgotten that concept in India entirely. What is my responsibility in my area?
It is because our laws are not being implemented honestly and fully and in 100% capacity. Because our police and our judicial system is also part of our society. So my question is that, and I want to say that it is not a simple road rage incident. And according to the family's allegation, also women were she was harassed sexually and at a tourist place. The families, objected confrontation and alleged escalation to the violence. Family says they were chased 15 to 20 kilometers, but vehicle was attacked. But my point is, and also Mrs. Sahai also raised those questions. What was police doing? And it was a long route. 15-20 kilometers is not a small passage or some small distance. So what was police doing? The response system is also in question. It raises a lot of question. And in many incidents we see that the response system is very, very slow. People try to get help from the police, but if they do not respond on time. So there are a lot of questions which comes into the light when such questions and such incidents happen. But and now if we talk about this, this particular incident on day before yesterday, also we discussed this Bangalore incident. And this particular incident where we see this Bhavli Dam, it is a tourist spot. Where there were CCTV footages, and there were all these, were they mapping these such people who are creating ruckus around such tourist area where women are gathering, their families are going out to for picnic, or so I think the police and our entire system is responsible for such incidents, and all the crimes are increasing day by day. Are we really doing something to ensure the safety of our society completely, not just women? Because women are a vulnerable section of this society, but in a whole way we are actually failing the entire society and system as a part of this country.
All right, let me bring in Advocate Swati Jindal Garg into the conversation. Swati, in your assessment, what really then becomes the way forward? Is this, I mean, I'm really at a loss of words for what's happened, but anytime something like this happens, we talk about it, then we wait for the next such incident to happen. It's not as though people are going to learn anything from what's happened in Nashik, but where are we failing as a society to really make a strong and stern example? And why I say that is because, like I said, it's okay to expect the cops to do their duty, but I don't think it's correct for us to constantly be blaming the cops or the lack of vigilance in this country. That can't be the way forward. If tomorrow there are going to be goons on the streets, what am I expected to bring a cop with me when I come to work?
Well, my question is, why are there goons on the street in the first place?
Exactly.
What are we expecting? Are we expecting the citizens to, raise arms against these goons? Why is the police even there? Of course, we will blame the police. Please understand that, till now, our only concern was if a woman is being molested, nobody helps her out. People are just bystanders. And what they do is they start taking a video and they put it on social media. That was our concern. I ask you, we had an incident recently in Mayur Vihar where a girl was being sexually harassed, and one of the men out there tried to come out and help her. And then he was suddenly surrounded by these rioters who ran from one place to the other with the locally made weapons in their arms, certain wooden sticks with nails sticking out. And they practically beat everyone who came in their way. What is it now you're expecting? Are you expecting the citizens to take an eye for an eye and make the whole world blind? Where was the police? That incident also went on till 30, 40 minutes. If the police are taking that much of time, I think we don't need them anymore then. All of us can be expected to just get up, start keeping firearms in our homes for our safety because the police has stopped doing its work. Today, we have another incident. There was a time when we had to wait for another incident to happen. Today, we don't even have to wait for that long. We have another incident today where these people have had the audacity to follow the car for what, a good 15, 20 kilometers. Something like this is happening on, in plain sight on the roads. What is it? I mean, of course we wait for the police to take up an action. Of course we wait for the police to ensure that there are no goons walking around on the roads. Because see, if the day comes when a citizen stops hoping for the police to intervene and decides to take matters in his own hands, it will be a black day, it will be a dark day for our nation. Because then it will be each to his own. जिससे
Yes,
करा जाए
absolutely.
अपना अपना देखो, अपना अपना देखो. When that comes, we are in a situation of a civil war where people give up the faith they have for the government, people give up the faith they have for the law and justice to take care of them. And that is what happens to, we already know what is happening in countries like Bangladesh, in countries like Nepal, where these people are coming on the roads and they're saying, ke, hum apne aap dekh lenge apna. We don't want that. Yes, we are still hoping for the police to finally wake up from their deep slumber and start doing something about this.
Right, absolutely. Mrs. Sai, you've also just
Yeah,
heard
we'll
everyone
come to
else.
the
I'd
deep
really
slum.
like to give you, an opportunity to respond to that.
Yeah. We are coming to the deep slumber part of it, and she is pretty right in talking about the deep slumber. Now, the whole operation, how does it happen? The whole operation happen if you take the sum total of all politicians and the hangers on in that particular area. They rule the roost. So that is precisely what is happening. And you hold police accountable and they should be held accountable, and there are a variety of ways in which they can be held accountable. But the crux of the matter is that the powers that be, you're talking that goons running loose. Now, if there are people who in garb of political colors are running loose, there is one guy who literally rode over the farmers. There is other case in Mokama in Bihar where there is goon versus goon, and finally there is a cabinet minister of government of India who comes next day for campaigning. So while the police is 100% responsible to deliver what it is supposed to deliver, and they should be taken to task, suspended, dismissed, Article 311, whatever it might be, please, you do that. It should be done. But the point is that their masters are extremely happy with them. The local MP, MLA, the government, everybody is happy with them. Now, this is a very quixotic sort of a situation where you have ended yourself. Now, there is a district in this place, Karnataka. My name Monday, I was heading that district, and there's huge amount of traffic-related issues. In 1 week, I booked 10,000 cases. Everything was fine, but all these things happen on a temporary basis. As you move out, things are back to the place where it is. So it is a much more complex problem than what the panelist has been talking about, and without denying the fact that it should be only and the only police who should be deliver as far as the prevention, detection of crime, law and order, it is their mandate. Unfortunately, in this country, this has been messed up by a variety of other things, inclusive of transfers, posting, political control, and variety of others. See, there are reforms supposedly to come in the police. It is 2000, 2005. The Prakash Singh case. Every single state government went against it. Every single state government. No reforms. You have all the committees you have had. There is a Supreme Court judgment, Security Commission, bifurcation of investigation and law and order. None of these things happened. So it is a very cozy sort of a equilibrium which has been created, and that is moving the country. Whether it leads to the fate whatever our neighbors faced or not, that's a different story altogether. But as it stands today, things are certainly moving in a direction in which it should not go as far as the law and order and prevention and detection of crime is concerned. Anything preventable, I think action has to be taken on the concerned officer. Both omission and commission of crime are both crimes.
Okay, I want to leave the last word with Brinda Dige. Brinda, go ahead.
Just wanted to share that though I mentioned police because they are the front line and the first responders, we must not forget the power of education, which we have totally and utterly failed. We do not want to talk to our children from school how to respect rules and laws. We are not even able to tell their parents, even if you are late, don't come down the one way. The parents come and children understand, oh, it's okay. So what? And then the next part that we want to address is an entire ecosystem that must work in convergence. Police, yes. Education, yes. What about structures? Why is it that there are no immediate action or punishment or penal action given to such cases that are filed? Why would we want the courts to continue to be tedious and make life so cumbersome for citizens who come and report? Because these are all not that complex cases that you want to go, tariq pe tariq. Long time ago, in Tamil Nadu, there used to be mobile courts. Why is it not possible for my judiciary to look at those things? Why did laws come into place? Why do we have rules? Because you're telling ourselves that we are a civil society and everybody, the majority follows the rule, follows the law. It is a small group of people who think that they can break the law, violate it and get away with it. So why is it that the courts are not working in tandem to ensure safety of citizens? Prevention is important, but for that prevention, fear of law is important. And fear of law means the police, the prosecution, the structures, the judiciary works in tandem. And now we must question, after 79 years, why is police and judicial reforms still hanging in limbo? What's wrong with our politicians?
Right, absolutely. On that note, I've run out of time, but I thank all of our guests for joining us on the broadcast for this conversation. We will, of course, keep an eye on further developments and updates. But for now, that's it. We sip into a short break.